So yeah, today I would like to talk about the so-called main meal question. Because being here from Germany, I've noticed a lot of cultural differences between my home country and England. Although one of the biggest cultural differences is definitely when and how we eat here. Because in Germany, especially when we have college and lunch, we have a big lunch. But here in the UK, the main focus is clearly on the dinner. And today I want to explore this contrast more and talk about the question, is it better to have a proper big lunch or a proper big dinner? I'll compare the German and British meal cultures and see what works best, but not just for me, for all of us. In my home country, our school day is traditionally structured around a major hot lunch, the so-called Mittagessen. This is our biggest calorie intake of the day and is made to bring us power for the rest of the afternoon, especially in the school where it gives us energy for our afternoon classes. Our school provides real hot dishes every day for every student that wants them. In the evening we have a light Abendbrot. It's not too much and is kept easy, perfect for having a fast but comfortable dinner which is easy for the body to digest in the end. But here in the UK the focus is completely reversed because lunch is functional, just a little snack, and is often eaten quickly between lessons, often called a meal deal, as you can see on my presentation. Dinner is the more important thing, because it's more time consuming and it's a very social meal, which makes it a great opportunity to come together. And it gives the chance to talk to your family and talk about your days together. Personally, for me, the UK system's biggest strength is the social part of the dinner in the evening, because it's a wonderful traditional experience. But however, I academically struggle with the light lunch because I often find myself losing concentration between the afternoon classes, because such a small lunch just doesn't provide enough energy, at least not how I'm used to it in my home country. And I constantly feel the need for a bigger meal to give me energy and cover up the time between lunch and dinner. But when we think about the health aspect of it, we should look at it from a physiological and performance standpoint, which clearly shows that the German model of a big lunch and a little dinner is healthier, because of a study of the National Institute of Health showed that our body's metabolism is more efficient in the middle of the day than in the evening, because in the evening our body normally does not even need the energy anymore, and the late eating also leads to obesity and glucose intolerance. That is because as good as every process in our body follows a 24-hour rhythm, and our inner clock explains the body when it should be active and when it shouldn't. Our cells are in the morning the most sensitive to insulin, which means the insulin can transport the glucose the easiest. But the sensitivity decreases when it's getting later in the day. That means if you're eating a high-calorie dish very late, your body has to produce more insulin, but our cells can't take it that easily anymore. Our body bursts out way more insulin than it would be for the same dish during lunchtime. And if that happens too often over a long period of time, it can lead to an overload and supporting of the insulin resistance, which will eventually lead to type 2 diabetes. Our whole metabolism is focused on relaxing and going to sleep during the evening, and is physically just not made to intake food during that time. Now that we're at the end, I will summarize all the given information and come to a conclusion. As a student experiencing the UK college system, I see a big problem in the structure of the meals throughout the day. A large lunch is better for my academic performance, but the dinner in the evening is a very good opportunity to speak to our host families, especially here, because these are not our real families, and we can talk with a social meal about our day. But I think we have to find a middle, because not just the health aspect, but also the social aspect. We should consider both, but we should maybe upgrade our college lunch. I mean, we could make our dinner at home 1 week of the day, because our host family can provide us with their kitchen. We can use their kitchen obviously, and we can make our own lunch and bring it with us to college, so we have a proper lunch, and eventually this will lead that we have less appetite in the evening and our body does not have to digest that much in the evening, which is obviously better for it. And this would also lead to maybe timing our dinner better, which can be obviously a bit harder because we're not at home. But I mean, we can start with it here. We could eat one day in the week without our host families, maybe. Of course, we have to tell them that. And by timing our dinner and upgrading our lunch, we can have good energy for study and a healthy social life, because that is for you and your health.